Obviously I'd normally be in school at the moment, but I'm just going to go and visit a couple of families to make sure that they're okay, because we've not managed to get in touch with them and their teachers are a little bit concerned that they've had no contact.
In her car, not her classroom. This isn't how Catherine Blackwood imagined she'd be spending her time when she went into teaching. Having to take on the role of a social worker, the assistant head teacher is checking up on families who haven't been engaging with school during lockdown.
Just come to check up on you, make sure everything's all right. Just a bit concerned that the kids haven't been doing their online learning, and I've tried calling you, but they're not picking up. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine, yeah.
OK, and have you got everything you need?
An increasing number of families are struggling with issues including money, mental health and social isolation, and it's teachers who are stepping in with support.
We do get a little bit of pushback from social services in some of the cases that they're not able to pick up, and I don't know if that's because they're feeling the pressure as a result of the pandemic, or they're just not able to take on as many cases as they would normally.
But you're a teacher. Should it be the role of schools, though, to do this type of social work?
Going into teaching, you are sort of taught that a lot of it happens in the classroom, but we have to sort of teach the parents and carers as well as the pupils, and it's about providing to the holistic child and children that come into school not having had breakfast or thinking, where am I going to sleep tonight because I'm in temporary accommodation. Yeah. It's really tricky, so we have to address those basic needs.
Use this worksheet to create your own positive affirmation.
Miss Blackwood's school doesn't get any extra funding for the pastoral care they're having to provide. And so they use pupil premium money that schools get for disadvantaged students to pay for this charity to work with their families.
When I feel sad, anxious or scared.
Today they're counselling a child whose fear about the pandemic has left them too anxious to learn.
A lot of the children, they're scared about their families dying, passing away and becoming very ill. And with the added bonus of not seeing your family in hospital, for children it's really hard.
The government says that nationally, figures show that during the first lockdown, referrals to social services fell. But when the restrictions were lifted, social workers say there was a huge demand, described as a tsunami of need. So why are teachers having to take on this role? In a recent survey, the professional body for social workers found that 3/4 of their members say referrals have spiked, and yet 80% feel they haven't got the resources to cope with the increase in cases.
We came into this pandemic with social work and social services that were clearly underfunded in some of the poorest areas where the needs are greatest, and where all of those things have been worsened through aspects of COVID.
Catherine Blackwood says families often face long waiting lists for statutory help and so turn to teachers.
And how's your mood been this week? Has it been okay?
Perfect. I'm very happy.
Rahima Bade had been suffering from depression and feelings of isolation, but the school managed to get her voluntary work and build her confidence back so that her children are now happily at school.
I was so alone. There was no support nowhere. When I get up in the morning, I'm thinking what I'm going to do today. When I look at my kids, they really helped me. Mental-wise, they helped me. All the support which I needed.
The Department for Education told us they've invested millions in frontline support for vulnerable families. But teachers fear that a significant proportion may be being missed. Figures show that fewer than half, 45%, of those described as vulnerable who should be in school during lockdown aren't attending. Darshna Soni, Channel 4 News, Birmingham.